stage. On that note, let's quickly take a look at what the highlights were as far as this big push for an investment are concerned. Let's quickly, of course, show you what that was and what those big announcements, of course, were. So firstly, the big investment in people. Well, the Saksham Anganwadi and the Poshan 2.0 program, which will impact, in fact, 9+ crore children, pregnant women as well as adolescent girls, is in fact now going to be enhanced further. Also, 50,000 Atal Tinkering Labs in government schools in next 5 years to foster scientific thinking in children as well. Further investments for people was the broadband connectivity to be provided for all government secondary schools and also primary health centers in rural areas. All of this to be done under, of course, BharatNet. Meanwhile, Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak scheme also to provide digital form Indian language books for schools as well as for higher education. Meanwhile, 5 national centers of excellence for skilling to also be set up, in fact, with global expertise to equip youth with the key manufacturing skills that are needed by them. Also, the Center of Excellence in Artificial Intelligence, that's AI, for education, with a total outlay of 500 crore rupees to be set up as well. Meanwhile, also a capacity of 23 IITs to be expanded with additional infrastructure for 5 IITs, including an IIT Patna as well. 75,000 additional seats to be added in medical colleges as well. This will be done in a phased manner over the period of the next 5 years. Also, daycare cancer centers in all districts hospital to be set up in the next 3 years as well. That's also something which, of course, crucially will happen in this budget. And PM Swanidhi to be revamped with enhanced loans from banks, uplink credit cards with 30,000 limit as well. Urban Challenge Fund of 1 lakh crore rupees to implement proposals for creative redevelopment of cities. That's also something that, of course, is now being set aside. And also the government to arrange for the gig workers' identity cards and also their registration through the e-Shram portal to be done as well. Meanwhile, now also a big announcement as far as the investment in the infrastructure is concerned. An outlay of 1.5 lakh crores proposed for 50-year interest-free loans for states. This for CapEx, for capital expenditure in particular. Meanwhile, infrastructure-related ministries to in fact come up with a 3-year pipeline of projects. This to be done in a PPP mode. That's also something very, very crucial and important in today's budget. Extension of the Jal Jeevan Mission until 2028 has also been planned with an enhanced total outlay for quality of infrastructure as well to be enhanced. Second asset monetization plan 2025. 30 will be launched. This, of course, is a plan from 2025 to 2030. It will be launched to plow back capital of 10 lakh crore rupees in new projects on ground. Electricity distribution reforms also to be incentivized for improvement of intrastate transmission capacity by states as well. So a lot, of course, in this announcement will be passed on now for the state's responsibility as well in this federal setup of ours. Nuclear energy mission for R&D of small modular reactors with an outlay of 20,000 crore rupees. That's also something that has been announced today. Shipbuilding financial assistance policy to be revamped to address cost disadvantages in the shipbuilding sector. We saw those shipbuilding stocks, of course, rally as well, as we told you earlier. Meanwhile, a maritime development fund with a corpus of 25,000 crores to also be set up today as announced in the budget. Modified Udan scheme will be very soon launched to enhance regional connectivity to 120 new destinations across the country. This in a period, again in a phased manner, over the next 10 years. Meanwhile, financial support to be provided for the Western Koshi Canal ERM project covering over 50,000 hectares of land. This in the state of Bihar. Remember, a lot, of course, in this budget for Bihar. It goes to polls later this year. 20,000 crore rupees allocated for private sector driven research, development and innovation initiatives as well. Remember, this, of course, are the investments in innovation. We told you earlier how this budget, of course, had a very pragmatic approach. Investments in people, investments in infrastructure and also investments in innovation. We are, of course, speaking now of the innovation sector. Deep Tech Fund of funds to be explored to support next generation startups, which are particularly in the emerging technological sectors. So obviously something that's futuristic looking. Establishment of a second gene bank also to be done with a 10 lakh germplasm lines to ensure future food as well as nutritional security as well. National Geospatial Mission to develop foundational geospatial infrastructure and data which will benefit urban planning as well in a significant manner. Also 10,000 fellowships under the Prime Minister's Research Fellowship Program at institutions like the IITs and IISCs will be set up over the next 5 years. These fellowships, of course, will provide innovation but will also benefit the people there as well. Gyan Bharatam mission for survey, documentation and conservation of more than 1 crore manuscripts to also be given a push. India's space race gets a financial boost with 13,416 crore rupee allocation as well, further for this very crucial space sector in which we've been making huge strides. 6,103 crore rupees earmarked specifically for the capital outlay on space research as well. So those of course are the announcements. Let's quickly now take that across to our panel as well to get their thoughts, of course, on this big push and what the ramifications of this is going to be. Mitali Nikore, economist, is joining us live. We also have Major General Shashi Asthana